Hey, how's it going, guys? And welcome back to a brand new PFC season. And today we're going to be looking at my team draft. Now, if you haven't noticed already or have been following on Twitter, this season of PFC, Pokemon Fight Club, which is the Showdown tournament we did a few months ago. In fact, was it 2 months ago? 2 months ago, I think it was about. And we've got some brand new members in this season. And this season's actually a randomized draft. So every mon that I've got, has been randomized and it's gone through everybody. So we've all got randomized mons we're going to have to work with. So I'm going to show you off in today's video what my randomized draft is. And I'm going to bring you through some of the thought processes I've had so far. Because we did get these yesterday or the day before. And I've had a few days to consolidate what I've got and think about some of the moves and stuff I can run on these guys. Some of the sets. I've tested some sets out already. I've actually removed those so you guys can't see and I don't have to give away too much to my opposition because I've got some really tough opponents coming up. You will see that in due time. But here we go. So let me just open Team Builder. And we did get to pick a Mega. So I have gone with Mega Pinsir. I was actually at the bottom of the list in the order of picking, so it was one of the better ones I thought, and I wanted to use that was left. I really wanted to use Mega Gallade, but I was thinking if that got picked, I wouldn't be too mad because I used Mega Gardevoir last season. So Mega Pinsir, really well. His attack stats are great. His speed is also great. He learns from very good moves. I love his ability. Aerialate, which actually turns normal type moves into flying type moves, which is really useful. Yeah, it makes this mon really powerful. I've tested him out. It's come through many times in the last few Showdown matches and has actually got me the win. So hopefully this Mega Pinsir is going to be a force to reckon with. Next, we got drafted our OU mons, which mine are, first off, we got Garchomp, which, hey, I thought my first mon was a dragon, and it was Garchomp, and I'm like, godsend. I love Garchomp, and he's really amazing. At the moment, he can hold the rough skin ability. I can also run a sand team of some kind if I really wanted to, but rough skin's a really good ability. They take damage when they make physical contact with you, so if they're not running Ice Beam and maybe they're running Ice Punch, for God's sake, please don't. If they're running Ice Punch, then they will take some damage in response to actually dealing some damage. Maybe you could run Rocky Helmet with it, get double the damage. Maybe, I don't know. That strat I've seen many people use before, so it would not be a bad idea to maybe run Rocky Helmet on it. I don't know. Might do, I might not do. It depends what setup I'm running. Next, we got Drawn Hawlucha. Right. I've never used Hawlucha before. I have no idea how to use it. I mean, I've been learning very quickly over the last few matches I've had how to use a Hawlucha. There's one set in particular I haven't tried yet, which I really want to have a look at. Which I thought could be really interesting if I use that set against. It depends who my opponent is that week. Whoever I fight against, I'll have to prepare and see which set for Hawlucha I want to run with, because I've got a Swords Dance set which I really like, and then there's a Sky Attack set which I really like as well. But there's a few more sets I've seen which I might chuck in there as well. But Hawlucha, never used it before. If you guys have got any ideas in the comment section below, you can go down there and let me know. Also, if you have any nicknames for any of these, I'm not sure whether we're allowed to nickname or anything, but if we are, then yeah, drop me some nicknames to any of these mods, all of them if you want to. But yeah, I'll drop some nicknames on these as well before our first match if you guys want to go ahead. And first match, by the way, will be up next Thursday. Just watch out for that. Next Thursday, the 21st, I think it is. Be watching for that. Our third mon is Dragonite. Now, after getting Garchomp, I'm like, I'm never going to get a good mon again. I pulled a Dragonite. Now, everybody's been trying to trade this off me. We are allowed to do trades up until week 6. It could be week 3, depending. I don't know. But we've got some trades that we're allowed to do. And there's been a few trades going on at the moment. Haven't quite put that into perspective on this video because I want to show you my plain draft, what I got up front. But Dragonite, everybody's been after. And I love Dragonite. He can set up, he can sweep. He's fast. He can learn extreme speed. That is pretty much, he is the #1 Bay so far. Other than my Mega, which I picked, he is the Bay. He is the one who's going to come through time and time again for me. Next, we drew Crocodile. Now, we all know how much I love Crocodile. I've used him in a few series now. The Moxie Sweep was real back in Region 1. And I really love Crocodile. People have been after this as well. I'm like, sorry, but Crocodile's staying with me. I love Crocodile. I have some really good sets for him. It's a good setup. And he can just go ham. You can just throw him out. He can take a hit and give an even harder hit back. That's what I love around Crocodile, and that is what we're going to be showing off. I've also got another Mon, which I'm actually going to have to pull this up slightly, but not like that. That is not what I want to do. We do have another Mon down at the bottom, which I thought it would fit, but if I move this down, we'll do it like that. We've got Galvantula. Now, Xylo did very well with Galvantula last season. He was running Compound Ice, so Thunder had more accuracy, which is a really nice set. And there's also Swarm, so you can power up Bug Buzz. And it does get Sticky Webs, which I really, really like and would not mind keeping. Because slowing down your opponent and being fast and making sure you outspeed them is key. It is a real key. So if we can do that, Galvantula is going to be some power to be reckoned with. And I can't wait to use this team in the actual battles. So let's take a look at the rest of our team. Next we drew Yanmega. Now, Yanmega speed boost is really, really nice. Set up a few protects and maybe get lucky with a triple protect. I don't even know. You can outspeed some of the fastest Mons. Guarantee you're going to deal some damage to them. Of course, you have to set up protects to make sure you don't die because Yanmega is very, very frail. So I'm not sure about Yanmega. I've used him. He's proven really well setting up those speeds, but he's just, I don't know. He's very frail. That is my only concern with Yanmega. He's very frail, but he is very good. That speed boost does come in very handy, and it has come in very handy time and time again for me. So Yanmega, pretty strong pick. Not gonna lie, love it. Next we drew Clawitzer. Now I've never used a Clawitzer before actually. The Mega Launcher ability is really good, like Ice Beam, Dark Pulse. Those kind of blast moves, those beam moves, they really do work well on this. So it's a very viable Pokemon. And you've got a very varied moveset. So you've got yourself covered against some of the types you would seem normally weak to. So that is a very good Mon. Love Clawitzer. Can't wait to use him in a match. Next we got the tank Bronzong. Now, this thing is a tank as well, not going to lie. I love Bronzong. Bronzong is our special defensive wall. We can run Levitate, or we can run Heat Proof, depending on who our opponent is, whether they've got Earthquakers, whether they don't, that kind of thing. And yeah, it can set up screens, it can Toxic, that kind of thing. I don't know. Depends what set I want to run on this thing, but this thing is pretty much a wall. It's our special defensive wall, and will hopefully prove very well for us when we have to face some of the tougher opponents. And we've got a very hard bracket this season, so yeah, we're going to see how well it goes, because it's going to be tough. Next, we've got Aggron. Aggron is kind of, well, it's our defensive wall, let's say. I'm not sure about his stats and stuff, like what I want to do with it. If you've got sets and stuff in the comments, I will have a look at those. Again, for any of these Mons, I'll have a look at sets that you want to suggest. But Aggron is kind of he's one of those Mons where he's good, but if somebody comes out with a Surf or something, you're kind of screwed because it's not going to live. So, yeah, I don't know. I like Aggron, don't get me wrong, he's really good. But I'm not sure how well he's going to fare against some of these tougher Mons, such as, I don't know, say super fast Starmie, because he is very, very slow. That is one of his downfalls. Him being a steel type, he's slow. Pretty much, that's about it. But next we've got Mawile. Mawile, I was really unsure about this Mon. since I've never used it other than once when it was a Mega Mawile. So I've never used regular Mawile. Its ability could come in very handy. Its stats are kind of meh, but it does get stuff like Sucker Punch. It is a fairy type, so we have some fairy coverage on our team, because that's what's the one thing I was worried about, is not having any fairy type coverage against those dragons. But that does give us a poison type weakness, which we don't really have. We have a very strong resistance to poison types, and Mawile can't actually take damage from poison types, being a steel type too. So maybe I would have preferred a better fairy type, Sylveon preferably. What are they called? Slurpuff. Those kinds of fairy types. Those wouldn't have been too bad a picks, but yeah, we go Mawile, and its Sucker Punch could come in and clutch, and its ability too. It could come in clutch. It could save us in some of these matches. Next, we drew Haunter. Now, since we didn't get a Gengar, I was like, oh, are we going to get any Gen 1 power here? Are we going to get any? Well, we did. We got Haunter. Don't get me wrong. Haunter's not as it was not as good as Gengar, but there's a few sets I've got for a Haunter that I would really want to try out against, well, in actual competitive against your friends, rather than just online, because a lot of those people have more understanding of what I'm doing. So there's two sets in particular I want to try and run, which I thought, hey, might be really cool to try out. Yeah, Haunter, I love it. I'm really glad I got it, and whether I got Haunter or Gengar, I wouldn't have minded. Haunter is power, and don't sleep on Haunter. That is all I'm gonna say. His sets I've had so far mean don't sleep on it, because otherwise you could be in somewhat bit of trouble. And our final two mons which we got drafted is Masquerain and Duosion. Now, these two mons I am not too thrilled about. Masquerain I want to maybe keep, maybe if I wanted to have another Webs mon, but I'm not sure. Masquerain I've never used competitively. I've used it in game, but I've never used it competitively, so I don't know how well it'll do. That Intimidate ability is very nice though, and it gets on Nerve as well, which, I mean, isn't a great ability, but those stats, again, same for both. Duosion stats aren't great either. It does get Overcoat. What's its secondary ability? Magic Guard, that's another one, and Regenerator. Those are two good abilities, not gonna lie, but these two mons aren't for me. I love them both, don't get me wrong, they're good mons, but they're just, I don't know if these are going to work well on the team, but Masquerain's there in case I need a second Webs mon. Not sure what its level up moveset is, but I'll have to have a check of that and see what I could do with it. As for Duosion, I mean, it could be a Trick Room setup if I wanted to make a super fast Bronzong for whatever reason, which would make no sense, but I could run a set like that if I wanted to keep Duosion. But there are a few trades out there. People have asked for Duosion, which, okay, fair enough. We'll see what we can get for it, but we'll see all those changes maybe in our first episode next Thursday, the 21st. That is my randomized draft. If there are any nicknames or movesets you guys want to nickname in the comment section below, let me know and I will jump straight on that. But for now, that is my randomized PFC draft. Hopefully you guys are hyped. But for now, have a wonderful and safe day. I'll catch you guys all next time. Bye for now.